Best of all about them was their eccentricities. It would seem that when the British live for years in a foul and sweaty climate among foreign people, they maintain their sanity by allowing themselves to go slightly dotty. They cultivate bizarre habits that would never be tolerated back home, whereas in faraway Africa, or in Ceylon, or in India, or in the Federated Malay States, they could do as they liked. On the SS Mantola, just about everybody had his or her own particular maggot in the brain, and for me it was like watching a kind of non-stop pantomime throughout the entire voyage. Let me tell you about 2 or 3 of these comedians. I was sharing my cabin with the manager of a cotton mill in the Punjab called U.N. Savoury. I could hardly believe those initials when I first saw them on his trunk. And I had the upper berth. From my pillow I could therefore look out on the porthole clear across the lifeboat deck and over the wide blue ocean beyond. On our 4th morning at sea, I happened to wake up very early. I lay in my bunk, gazing idly through the porthole and listening to the gentle snores of U.N. Savoury, who lay immediately below me. Suddenly, the figure of a naked man, naked as a jungle ape, went swooshing past the porthole and disappeared. He had come and gone in absolute silence, and I lay there wondering whether perhaps I had seen a phantom, or a vision, or even a naked ghost. A minute or 2 later, the naked figure went by again. This time I sat up sharply. I wanted to get a better look at this leafless phantom of the sunrise. So I crawled down to the foot of my bunk and stuck my head through the porthole. The lifeboat deck was deserted. The Mediterranean was calm and milky blue, and a brilliant yellow sun was just edging up over the horizon. The deck was so empty and silent that I began to wonder seriously whether I might not, after all, have seen a genuine apparition, the ghost, perhaps, of a passenger who had fallen overboard on an earlier voyage, and who now spent his eternal life running above the waves and clambering back onto his lost ship. All of a sudden, from my little spy-hole, I spotted a movement at the far end of the deck. Then a naked body materialized. But this was no ghost. It was all too solid flesh, and the man was moving swiftly over the deck between the lifeboats and the ventilators, and making no sound at all as he came galloping towards me. He was short and stocky, and slightly pot-bellied in his nakedness, with a big black moustache on his face. And when he was 20 yards away, he caught sight of my silly head sticking out of the porthole, and he waved a hairy arm at me and called out, "Come along, my boy! Come and join me in a canter! Blow some sea air into your lungs! Get yourself in trim! Shake off the flab!" By his moustache alone, I recognized him as Major Griffiths, a man who had told me only the night before at the dinner table how he had spent 36 years in India and was returning once again to Allahabad after the usual home leave. I smiled weakly at the Major as he went prancing by, but I didn't pull back. I wanted to see him again. There was something rather admirable about the way he was galloping round and round the deck with no clothes on at all. Something wonderfully innocent and unembarrassed and cheerful and friendly. And here was I, a bundle of youthful self-consciousness, gaping at him through the porthole and disapproving quite strongly of what he was doing. But I was also envying him. I was actually jealous of his total don't-give-a-damn attitude, and I wished like mad that I myself had the guts to go out there and do the same thing. I wanted to be like him. I longed to be able to fling off my pyjamas and go scampering round the deck in the Altogether, and to hell with anyone who happened to see me. But not in a million years could I have done it. I waited for him to come round again. Ah, there he was. I could see him far away down the deck, the gallant, galloping Major who didn't give a fig for anybody. And I decided right then that I would say something very casual to him this time, to show him I was one of the gang, and that I had not even noticed his nakedness. But hang on a minute. What was this? There was someone with him. There was another fellow scooting along beside him this time, as naked as the Major he was, too. What on earth was going on aboard this ship? Did all the male passengers get up at dawn and go tearing round the deck with no clothes on? Was this some empire-building, bodybuilding ritual I didn't know about? The 2 were coming closer now. My God, the second one looked like a woman. It was a woman. A naked woman as bare-bosomed as Venus de Milo. But there the resemblance ceased, for I could see now that this scrawny, white-skinned figure was none other than Mrs. Major Griffiths herself. I froze in my porthole, and my eyes became riveted on this nude female scarecrow galloping ever so proudly alongside her bare-skinned spouse. Her elbows bent and her head held high, as much to say, "Aren't we a jolly fine couple, the 2 of us, and isn't he a fine figure of a man, my husband the Major?" "Come along there," the Major called out to me.
If the little Mem Sahib can do it, so can you. 50 times round the...